What's going on, guys? Besides here, and into this video we will learn how to make the perfect champion pool for SoloQ. What are the best champions to main? How do you choose your main champions? What are the best picks in champion select so you can win and climb more? In this video we will answer those questions, everything and even more. By the end of this video, you're also gonna get my recommendations on the best champions for each role in terms of climbing and improving.
If this is the first time on the channel, my name is Visais and I'm a League of Legends coach with over 8 years experience, and I hit Challenger in Season 9. I have more than 2,500 of players coached on all roles with ranks between Bronze and Challenger. On this channel I will post videos for players that want to get better, so if you want to make sure you don't miss out any bit of content that will make you better from this channel, go ahead right now and subscribe, like, hit the notification bell. Remember that what you're seeing right now is just a very limited part of my premium personalized coaching session that people want to book with me if they want to improve hard and climb very fast. Learn more about my coaching by the end of the video, or go to the description of the video right now to find out everything that you're gonna get. Enjoy the video.
How many champions should I play? So this is a question that I get a lot. So you can play 1 champion, 2 champions, 3 champions or 4 champions. More than 4 champions is a little bit luxurious, and it's something that mostly high-elo players should do. Of course, if you're challenger, you're diamond, let's say you're like master tier and you have a team, a competitive team, and you want to expand your champion pool, playing more than 4 champions is always good. But mostly if you're bronze, silver, gold, you don't need that many. So you can go for, it really depends on what you want to do. So for example, how much do you play the game for? For example, if you play 5 hours per week, or if you play, let's say, 1 hour per day, it's the most stupid thing in the world to go for 5 champions, 4 champions, 7 champions, 8. You don't have the time to put into the game to play those many champions. So ask yourself, how much time can I invest in League of Legends? And after you're asking that, if you can play, let's say, 2 hours or 3 hours per day, I suggest you to play 2 champions or 3 champions. 3 champions is a little bit too much. I would say 2 champions is the best, but you can also go for 3. Obviously, if you play a lot per day, I think let's say you have 8 hours or 7 hours or 6 hours to play per day, you can go for 3 champions. It's perfect. You can also go for 4 if you want. Anything more is like pretty bad in my opinion, because you don't need that much. You can just invest all of this time that you put into the game into improving on the champions that you love. So simple. Do you play less than 3 hours per day? I think you should go for 2 champions, only 2 champions. Don't concern yourself with more. Do you play more than like 4 or 5 hours per day? No problem. You can go for 3, 4, maybe even 5. But I wouldn't really force it. Personally, I would play for 3. 3 champions is the sweet spot if you want to maximize the learning, but also improving and climbing, so you can actually invest all of this time that you have in like a small amount of pool. So I wouldn't recommend more than 3 champions. The second question that you have to ask yourself is, do I care about having fun, or do I care about climbing? Because obviously, if you are the guy that I don't fucking care about having fun, I want to fucking climb, man, I want to climb, then you just like play champs that are very, very good in the meta. You're not really playing champs that are like hard. You're avoiding those like Lee Sin or LeBlanc. No, you just play the Vex. You don't play the Vex. You play, let's say, the Volibear in the jungle. You play the champion that is easy, that you know you can climb, that you know it's gonna be pretty easy for you to learn the game, and you don't concern yourself with too many things. Obviously, if you're the guy like, oh, but I don't care about climb, I want to have fun, man, then obviously you can just pick your Lee Sin. Of course, it's gonna be harder for you to learn the game. It's gonna be harder for you to really climb. But I mean, the game is gonna be more fun. So maybe on one hand, the game is gonna be like, it's gonna be harder for you to learn the game if you play Lee Sin. But on the other hand, if Lee Sin is the only champion that is very fun for you, and you feel like you're gonna play the game more because you play Lee Sin, I mean, if you play the game more, you're also gonna improve a little bit faster. So I guess a hard champ can be good on one hand, because you're gonna allow yourself to play the game more and for longer periods of times, which means you're going to learn faster theoretically, but practically if you put this time into an easy champ, you're going to improve a lot faster. And obviously, what champs do you want to play? So here you should take into consideration basically 3 things. Do you want to play a champion that is good in the meta? Do you want a champion that is fun? Or do you want to have a champion? So the question really comes down to this. Do you want to have a champion that is good in the meta and not fun? Or do you want to have a champion that is fun but it's not good in the meta. An example would be, let's say, Syndra, or let's say you're bronze and you wanna play Vayne. Not in the meta, but yeah, it's fun. Obviously, if you are like, there are champions that are good in the meta and they're also fun. And I will give you some examples by the end of this video if you watch it until the end. Tips and tricks for building a real champion pool. Tip number 1. Having a smaller pool is always preferable because you will have more time to get better on your champion. Obviously, don't concern yourself with too many champions, I mean, unless you really want it, but it's kind of luxurious to play like 6, 7, 8 champs, even 5 is kind of overkill. If you just stick on a 3 champion pool, then you should be fine. Of course, you might be scared of, oh, but I'm gonna get bored, I'm gonna, what the fuck, I wanna, okay, you're gonna get bored, it's okay. If you get bored, then you have 2 options. 1, let's say I'm a main mid lane and I play only LeBlanc and Syndra, but I'm scared because I also want to play Katarina, I also want to play Akali because the game is boring, and obviously I know that I want to play something else. The problem is that I'm going to climb a lot slower, I'm going to learn the game a little slower, so I would do this. I would play on my main only LeBlanc and Syndra, but then when I get bored, I'm going to go on a Smurf and I'm going to experiment other things. Or I can even just play normals on other things and test it out, experiment things. So this way you're not gonna lose your ranked games, this way you're not gonna lose your LP, and this way you're gonna be the highest rank that you can be. Imagine 99.9% of the players, they are like, this shit, man, I'm bored, I'm gonna play this LeBlanc first time, I'm gonna play this Akali first time in ranked, I'm bored of Syndra and LeBlanc. No, but your main LeBlanc, what are you gonna do? No, but I'm bored. And they will play Akali, they will lose. You lose so hard on the Akali and you're gonna be like, fuck this shit, man, I'm gonna go back to my LeBlanc, I hate this Akali. But imagine if you didn't go in a ranked and experiment this. Imagine you would go in a normal game, imagine you have another, so you can even go in a normal game or you can just go on another account and you don't lose the LP, it's so simple. The next tip and trick is don't concern yourself too much about counter picks and draft content, blind picks, etc. If you're like, okay, if you're challenger, if you're a grandmaster, if you're master tier, you're playing a team, okay, the champion pool, like having a good draft, picking the blind pick, thinking about the team compositions in relationship to each other, they are very important thing. But if you're bronze and you're thinking, oh, I want to pick this champion, blind pick, okay, it's a counter pick, it doesn't matter, okay? You can pick 1 champion or 2 champions every single time, a bad blind pick, you can counter yourself and still win the game. Because in bronze, in silver, in gold, in platinum, people don't know how to abuse you. They don't know what is a counter pick. They don't know how to use it. They don't have the skills on the champion to punish the mistakes that you're doing and to punish the fact that they got the counter pick. So okay, if you're diamond 3, diamond 2, people are starting to know how to abuse you. But if you're bronze, silver, gold, even I would say until diamond 4, I wouldn't concern myself too much about, oh, but I need to have an AP champion in my pool because my team is picking full AD. It doesn't really matter. Until D4, you can climb. You can pick Yumi every game, climb. Zed every game, climb. You're gonna have situations when you're gonna be full AD. It does not matter. If you're very, very good at the game, if you're focusing on the improvement, and if you're getting better slowly, you're gonna probably just win. No matter. I'm sure you guys experienced this. You picked a champion, the guy counter picked you, and you still smashed him. It doesn't matter that he has a champion if he doesn't know how to. If he has a champion that is a counter pick, but he doesn't really have the skills needed to really counter you in the game. The last step is avoid hard champions, but it's still possible to climb with them. So it depends on what you want to do, because I wouldn't suggest you playing LeBlanc, Lee Sin, Vayne, or Jace on the top lane. Really, if that's the only way you're gonna play this game and if this is what you enjoy, you can play those. Yes, it's gonna be a little bit harder for you to improve. Yes, it's gonna take more time. Yes, at times maybe you're gonna feel like a hard suck, but that doesn't mean it's impossible for you to climb. You will still improve if that's what you want to do, if you put into the effort, but it's just gonna happen at a slower pace compared to, let's say, if you play an easy champion. Alright guys, let's go to the recommendation of the best champions for each role. So for the recommendation, remember that the recommendations that I'm gonna give to you are going to be basically from my expertise playing in bronze, gold, platinum, master tier, challenger over the years, 8 years experience. I coach so many people, I already know. So the champions that I'm gonna give it to you, They are not good for climbing, they are not good for improving, they are not good for learning the game. Guess what? They are good for everything. So I'm not just gonna tell you, hey, play Yumi and yes, you're gonna climb. Yes, maybe you climb, but no. The champions recommendation that I'm gonna give you are gonna help you with more things, not just climbing or just improving. They're gonna help you to improve the game, they're gonna improve your game sense, they're gonna help you to climb, they're gonna help you with everything. So let's see what we have. On the mid lane, the best champions are going to be Vex, Victor, Nico, Swain. Beautiful champions on the mid lane. I suggest you, if you have the time to and the effort to put into the game and you have the time to play more than 1 or 2 champions, you can play two mages and 1 assassin. I think that's the best combination to really play this game. A normal game, you need wave clear, you just pick Victor, you just pick your champion. But you also want to have an assassin in case something happens. You can also go for 3 champions in mage department like Oriana, Victor and Vel'Koz. That's also okay. You can also go for most assassins. But I would say the best champion pool that you can have as a mid lane main is 2 mages and one assassin. On top lane, so on top lane, I would say that if you can play 3 champions and those 3 champions are 1 tank and 2 carries, that's absolutely fine. Of course, the number I would suggest for most of the people is 2 champions. I wouldn't really recommend 3 because most of the people can't invest more than 4 hours per day. If you can, then obviously you can go for more champs, 3, 4, 5 champs. But for top lane, I recommend you Ornn, Mordekaiser, Darius, Shen, Olaf. They all can carry. They're all gonna help you to win more games in SoloQ if you play enough games on them and you actually want to improve and you put into the effort. AD carry, I do recommend you on AD carry to have just a few champions. Just 2 champions is enough. If you get very proficient on those, you're probably gonna just climb really hard. The recommendation are Tristana, beautiful champions, Varus, amazing for carry, Ashe, always good in the meta, Jhin, always good in the meta the last 3 years. He was always good for SoloQ, of course, competitive, don't talk. And Caitlyn, also really good. Support, Blitzcrank, Zyra, Amumu, Soraka, and Nautilus, all good for carrying, all good for climbing. Jungle, Volibear, Wukong, Zac, Udyr, and Warwick. Do you have problems choosing your main role and main champion? Did you ever experience playing 1 champ and then getting bored of it and trying to force yourself playing another champion? Have you ever thought about the best champion pool for you so you can climb and improve really fast but just can't find it? Nothing easier. I already help over 3,000 of people with my coaching on all roles. If you want to find your main role and get your desired rank, if you're serious about getting better in League of Legends, go ahead and book your own personalized one-on-one coaching session and start improving instantly. I'll see you in this session.